very awkward because I just like, wait, I have to fucking talk. It's awkward. It's like, what do you mean I can't just like sit here and not say anything? Hi. Hello, everybody. Hello. As of filming this very day, it is my birthday. OMG. Yeah, I know. The big 22 years old. Taylor Swift. Red album. Anyways, we're in high spirits because, you know, on your birthday, you just gotta be in high spirits, you know? You gotta be cool, you gotta be chill. Like, what do you mean I'm not relaxing? Like, hello, that's why I called off. I literally called off today, tomorrow, and then, you know, it's my normal days off anyways. So 5 days off for my birthday, because fuck that place. Hey. Yes, hello. So, anything interesting? I dyed my hair, OMG, what? Dyed my hair red, it's red, you will not know what it looks like. Not uploading a picture, so you'll never see it, you just gotta imagine, just picture it in your head, red hair, boom, dark red hair, yes, the lady who did my hair, Jesus Christ, do I low-key fucking hate her, or what? Hey, she does my hair good, and she cheap as shit, so I will never forgive her for what she did to my friend, but that's besides the point. Yeah, I low-key thought she was gonna do something, because, I have highlights in my hair, and honest to God, I would've done this shit at home. Fucked my shit up, cut it off, I don't give a fuck. I would've ended up doing it at home, because I don't give a shit. Here's the thing. I have highlights in my hair. I didn't just want to slap red on there because I was going to have bright red highlights in my hair, or they were going to like end up more damaged. So I was like, okay, I'll go to her so she can, you know, do my shit right. She did assist me down. She goes, I don't remember if I put brown in your hair for your highlights. I guess we'll find out. Slather permanent dye all up in my shit. Oh, she just slathered that shit on, not give a fuck. She didn't even comb my hair, nothing. I was like, oh, she did not just fucking do that. And I sat there, my dude, this entire time holding the fucking bowl. Yeah, holding the bowl as she dips that shit. She like reaches over my shoulder, dips that shit. She's on a phone call, like just slathered my shit up. And she said, okay, honey, go sit and wait. And that I did. I sat there and I waited. I was like, damn, I'm gonna go on Instagram, go on Twitter, like, gonna do my shit. Just sat there. Just fucking sat there. And then eventually and mind you, the entire time, cape, choking the living god shit out of me. Choking me. So, I'm like, oh, now I'm pissed. But I'm sitting there, like, like, help me. Getting choked. She starts washing my hair, starts choking me even more, like, at that point, she was waterboarding me and choking me, like, I almost died in that fucking seat. She, you know, she told me, stay here, I'm gonna go finish cutting these men's hair, okay? So I'm sitting there, towel on my head, that shit still looks black, and I was like, oh my god, just my roots look red, and everything else still looks black. And egg on my face, no bitch, it's actually red. I was like, oh, no, she actually did that shit. My highlights are bright red, though, so that's the one thing I was like, oh, I look, you don't want that. I look, you want, like, symmetry. Fuck me, I guess. That's just gonna have to get cut out as time goes, because I do want to maintain it. And here's the problem. Mama. I want to low-key just put permanent color on it, like a dark red permanent box color. But I don't know if I should do, like, highlights only and then go on semi-permanent on top, because that's what all the baddies on Instagram and TikTok are saying to do. That's how they refresh their hair. They're like, I've been doing this for 7 years, my hair is still healthy, yada yada. It's more money, but their hair looks good. But then I saw this other woman who dyed her hair dark ginger, this beautiful ginger color, all just putting permanent dye on her head. Always just putting permanent dye on her fucking head. And then literally, like, not even just the roots, because the other ladies were saying do the roots only and then do the color, like, semi-dye. But then this lady's just, like, straight permanent color on all of it, and her hair looks so good. So now I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like, I guess I think I'm just gonna go full permanent on everything. The next time I do my hair, which is, like, 2 months, I have that shit scheduled. I already put it in a schedule. That's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna... Shit! I lost a train of thought. It's because I have my headphones in, because I don't know about y'all, but I don't like talking to myself in silence. I feel like a fucking loser. So I had music playing in my headphones, and it just realized now that I paused that shit. It just hit me now that I paused it, so that's a little embarrassing. And I just remembered. Anyways, like I said, I'm gonna go full permanent on the entire thing. If it looks bad, whoops, only gonna put it, like, if my shit looks more crusty, dusted, busted, or whatever the hell, I'm gonna just do the roots with the permanent dye just so I can lighten them, and then I'm gonna go all over with a color, like a semi-permanent, and then just, like, do that. I saw this one from, no, not Firefox, it might be Firefox, I don't fucking know, but the hair dye, and it's, like, this, because they have, like, a new natural, like, color brand, and it's ruby red. Ooh, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's literally like the shade I want. But here's the problem. The shade that I have on now is dark, but I like how it looks. I like it. No, actually, I don't like how it looks. I wish it looked more red in normal lighting. I feel like I've been told at my job, because, like, we have fluorescent lights, so everything is like, ugh, like, it paints you in a bad light, mama. So my hair, it looks like purple. They're like, oh yeah, no, here it looks like purplish. I'm like, it's not purple. I was like, I don't want, because here's the thing, I don't want burgundy hair. I want dark, rich, red hair, you know, like a pink undertone, I guess. Like, I do not want a fucking purple undertone. I don't want burgundy. That's the thing. So it's, like, trying to find a balance, like, am I actually trying to go, like, brown with, like, it shining to be red, or am I going, like, it looks dark red? I want to go look dark red, but I feel like I'm just, like, I feel like that color don't exist, but it does exist, and I know it will exist. And so I'm like, anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, I dyed my hair red. What did I do today for my birthday? I'm having a movie marathon. Have I only watched one movie? Yes. Is it like 7 p.m.? Yes. Here's the thing. Oh, I like burped. Hello? At like 12, I finished watching White Chicks, because on Sunday I went to my friend Sully's house. Me and Adeline went to Sully's house, and we watched White Chicks. We didn't finish it, though, so I came home, or whatever. But I decided to finish it today, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna keep watching more movies, and yada yada, and, like, I have a whole list, you know, like, shit that I was like, I need to watch. But I was like, dang, I look, you want to put something silly on, so I put on Super Crazy Love. Too good. OMG, that movie is super good. Like, ooh, did I want to cut myself 99% of the time watching it, because I was cringing bad? Yes, but low-key, like, it was so good. Marissa Tomei's in it. I love Marissa Tomei. She's drop dead gorgeous. Anyways, so she's in it. She was super funny in that. It's super fucking good. I hated Ryan Gosling's character in the beginning, and he is my fave. Unfortunately, she is my fave. In the story. The teenager part where, you know, she's, like, lusting after a grown-ass man, and then, you know, it made sense, her being like, no, you're 13, fuck, no, like, I'm not into you. You know, that made sense, because I'm like, yeah, he's 13 and you're 17. No shit. And then I'm like, it makes sense for, like, oh, a 17 or 18-year-old girl to want a dad. Like, that makes sense, whatever. Like, it's still weird, but, like, that's normal. So I was like, and yeah, I was like, this dynamic's normal. But at the end of the movie, the 17-year-old girl gives the 13-year-old boy a naked pic. Like, what? And she's like, here, to hold you out for high school. So you're going to jail. Like, this kid, this happened at his 8th grade graduation. What? What are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking about? I thought that was the crazy part. Like, hello? Ugh. But it was made in 2011, so, like, who gave a fuck, I guess. I think that was utterly fucking disgusting, though. I think it was, ugh. Next, I don't really know what I'm gonna watch next. I know for sure I'm gonna watch Minari, at least. Like, even if I start watching movies late, I'm just gonna fucking put that on. But I was thinking of, immediately after this, put on, like, a comedy, like a, 90-minute comedy, and then watch it, so I don't go to sleep too late, but, like, I don't fucking know. I guess we'll fucking see what happens. But anyways, let's talk about the book that I want to say. So, the story that I'm listening to is called The Compound. It's, like, basically how, like, one of the people described it, they're like, it's like watching Love Island with Hunger Games. Kinda, yeah and no. All that's happening right now is, like, the premise of the story is that there's this show that goes on that, like, 10 boys and 10 girls go to this, like, fucking compound in the fucking desert. It's, like, Love Island. Literally Love Island. But they're, like, for some reason, the world that they're living is, like, dystopian and shit. There's, like, a big war. They're like, oh, don't talk about the war. Yeah, people fought in the war. My dad's in, the war. What's the war? What's the war? Like, hello, what the fuck was the war about? What is it about? Who knows? They're like, yeah, a bomb could drop on us any second. Why? What's going on? Like, hello? Like, it makes sense. The point of the war is, like, kind of Lily's reasoning for never wanting to leave the compound. Like, that makes sense, but I'm like, okay, like, are we just gonna keep bringing up the war? Like, are we trying to set up for, like, a sequel? Like, what the hell's going on? But, basically, they're in a compound, and it's like, oh, you live there, and then, like, you have to do challenges to earn rewards, and rewards are like, oh, toiletry, a door, pajamas, like, clothes, jewelry, whatever, like, and the less people there are, the more expensive and the more nice the gifts are. So, like, the point is to, like, try to stay till the very fucking end. And at the end, you can stay at the compound however long, and all you gotta do is be like, I want this, I want that, yeah. And then they'll, like, give it to them, and you just gotta go, thank you, Dior, for the perfume. So, Lily, she signs up, and then they basically, this is how they get you to the compound so nobody knows where it's at. They randomly come into the night, drug you, kidnap you, and take you there, and then let you naturally wake up in the compound. And, like, you don't remember how it happened, like, nothing. Hello? So, Lily's, like, the first one up, and she runs into this woman named Giselle. She's the I miss you, Giselle. So, and then they're like, OMG, like, hey, we're the first ones. And then they see this other woman in the distance. And OMG, what's that music? Why is there, like, a light behind her? OMG, why are there birds singing in the air? It's Candace. Candace, the most gorgeous, most, like, fucking incredible woman there is. She's confident. She's secure. She looks like a goddess. It's Candace. Her hair is pinned straight, even in this humidity. It's Candace. Like, ooh. Ooh. Like, she's her. So they see her, and then she's like, hey, guys, like, OMG. We like Candace, don't worry. So, like, and then they wake up the rest of the girls, and they're like, OMG, hey. The main people, I feel like, are important. There's, like, the main person that's important, I would say, are Lily, Giselle, Candace, and Becca. Like, there's this other girl, like, Susie and Mia, I would say, are close second, but, like, whatever. And then main important men, Tom, Andrew, Sam, Ryan. Yeah, Sam and Ryan. That's it. They're like, there's other people too, but, like, who gives a fuck about them? Like, I'll say their names eventually, but, like, they're not that important. Anyways, so Lily, she literally pulls up to the compound. She sees the girls. They all wake up, and they're like, this place is a fucking mess. We have to clean it up and look good for the boys. Oh, whatever. I be forgetting they're, like, male-centered in this shit. But they're like, we have to look ready for the boys. So then they clean up, and they, like, put on makeup, like, whatever makeup they can find, because they have to, like, do challenges to get makeup and, like, dresses and shit like that. So basically, they're, like, drop naked in the fucking forest, whatever. So then, I think they go, like, 3 full days before any of the men show up. And the men, they get dropped in the desert. Like, they wake up in the desert, and then they have to find each other, and then find their way to the compound. So then they show up. There's only 9 of them. They're like, yeah. One of us got lost, and we'll never see him again. what? And then they'll, like, beat the fuck up, too. Like, they're all, like, all bloody and shit, and they're like, what the fuck happened? Like, hello? But they're like, but you could really use some food. So, whatever. And then the people, like, you find out their names, and, Andrew is kind of, like, the leader of the dudes. Like, he's kind of the leader and shit, but then there's other guy named Tom, and he's, like, super buff and muscular Tom. And then there's Sam, who's Sam. Here's one thing about me, fuck a man named Sam. Oh, I've never met a good one. But, and then there's Ryan, and he's, like, the hottest, sexiest man on earth. Or whatever. And then they're like, hello. Yeah, like, they have to talk and shit, and then they're like, here. And then there's this guy named Seb. He, like, a bitch, but, like, Seb be gone and, like, that. So, fuck him. I think he's not even in part 2. Like, who give a fuck about Sam? Not Sam. Oops, Seb. Hello? So Seb is like a bitch, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you women, you stupid skank whores? Oh. But, whatever, they're like, hey, like, we have to do challenges. Like, the first one was like, because the rules is you can't talk about the outside world, like, you can talk about your past yourself, you can't harm other residents, and then you can't talk about, like, how you won your prizes, like, you can't say shit like that. So then, they have to, like, kind of say shit, and they can only share personal information when a challenger says to. So the first challenge was, like, say all the people you've had past relationships with, and then, like, all the guys were, like, annoying and shit like that. They were also boring, and then Lily, one of them she was 16, sleeping with, like, a teacher. So she was like, that was one of mine. I, slept with my teacher and shit like that. And then when it got to Sam, he was like, I'm sorry. And she was like, what? He was like, I'm sorry that happened with your teacher. And she goes, don't try to paint me like a victim, bitch. But, it was, like, kind of shit like that. She's like, oh, Sam, like, it was so she wanted that cookie bad. And he wanted that cookie, too. But then Ryan was like, OMG, you're so drop-dead gorgeous. And she's like, okay, like, you're hot, too, I guess. And then they had to, like, they're like, your first challenge, rate the girls from hottest to least hottest to hottest, and then rank the guys like that. So then they do that, and then it's Sam is third, Andrew is second, and Tom is first. Hey, it's me from the future during editing. I fucked up. I said Tom, I actually meant Ryan, so the number one hottest person was Ryan. That's who I meant. I don't know why the fuck I said Tom. And then for the girls, Lily is second and Candace is first. So then, like, you had to, like, find somebody to, like, sleep in your bed. And the girls were like, oh shit, like, we need to find somebody because there's a man less. So if you don't, like, get a man in your bed, you're gonna get knocked out. So, Lily was like, well, I don't know if somebody's gonna lay in my bed, so she just laid down first. And then eventually she felt the bed dip, and she saw it was Ryan, and she goes, oh, Ryan. And she, like, wanted Sam, though, but she's like, oh, Ryan, hey. But, she wasn't gonna say she wanted Sam, but she wanted Sam. And then the very next day, they're doing challenges, and Sam ended up with a woman named Becca. And they were doing a challenge. It was like, you can get a sofa when you submerge your head underwater for a minute. And then everybody did it but Becca. Like, she couldn't do it. Like, she couldn't hold her breath that long. So then they were like, let's take a break. Becca doesn't want to do it anymore. Like, who gives a fuck about the couch? Sam is like, who gives a fuck about the couch? Like, Becca don't want to do it no more. Like, we're done. He said, enough! The feast is done! That's what he fucking said. But, so they left, and it was just, Becca in the pool, and Lily, she's like, are you okay, Becca? Like, it's okay, you can breathe. And then Tom walks over, and he's like, Becca, it's hard, isn't it? Yeah. He's like, that must be hard to do, hold your breath. That must be really hard, but, sometimes we gotta do the hard things for the team. He grabs the back of Becca's neck and just pushes her head down for a whole minute, bro. Just holds, like Becca is thrashing, like, she can't breathe. He's just holding her down. He's like, 10 more seconds, Becca. Like, and they're just, like, watching him, bro. Like, Lily's just watching her. She's like, dang, that's crazy, bro. And then he's like, yeah. He's like, good job, Becca. And then he walks away, and then they get the couch. And then Lily's like, ooh, what the fuck? She's like, hello? What? So then she was like, ooh, stay the hell away from Tom. And then they're, like, doing some challenges, and it was, like, a few days later or whatever, and they were doing personal challenges, like, to win their shit. So then, like, one of it was, like, so if you want this gold necklace, go talk to Sam. So Lily goes talk to Sam and shit like that. And then she's like, oh, hey. And he's like, oh, hey. And then she's like, oh, like, let me try to guess your profession. So they're, like, doing, like, a little banter, like, oh, like, don't tell me, and shit like that. And then they were just, like, sitting there. And then, fucking Lily goes, she's like, you know, I thought you were, like, I thought you would have been in my bed on the first night. And then he goes, yeah. And he was like, why is that? She's like, I don't know, like, I thought, you know, talking to you was nice. He goes, yeah, then why haven't you talked to me since then? He's like, it's been a few days since I've heard from you, so what's up with that? And she was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, it's funny, you only talk to me because you want some personal gain? Is that why you're talking to me? Is every talk with me transactional, bitch? Like, he's like, coming at her, bro. But she's like, what the fuck? And she goes, fuck you, bruh. So then she fucking, like, leaves. And then she gets her necklace anyway. She don't give a fuck. She goes, she's like, thank you. She's like, thank you for the necklace. Like, to the camera. So, whatever. And then, it's just, like, kind of weird between them. And then there's just, like, they're sending people home and shit. Who, like, get punished. They're, like, if they, like, cause, like, a little bit of issue, like, if they, like, rattle shit for, like, a split second, they're like, you're done, get the hell out. Oh, strict regimen there, bro. The second there's, like, an inch of conflict with you, they boot you, they get you the hell out of there. Which is kind of crazy. But, so a lot of people were getting, like, booted out, or whatever. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck else happens? I don't know if anything happens interesting from there. They just, like, kind of get roles, and they're like, okay, Tom and, Andrew are, like, the leaders or whatever, and they all get assigned, like, a job or something. And then Jacinta, Candace, and Lily are, like, super close. Like, they're also friends with, Susie. They're also friends with Susie and Mia, but, like, Mia low-key a bitch, and she just kind of there. And then Susie, they're like, oh, she's a little dim-witted, silly, goofy, haha girl, like, she's so silly she can't do nothing kind of girl, whatever. But they're, like, all BFFs, and they chill, and they, like, brush each other's hair, and they sit in the shade, and they're like, I love you girls. Candace is being very, like, oh, I love you girls, and, like, being all, like, lesbian and shit. Because I'm pretty sure Candace is a lesbian. Well, the fact that she's in love with, like, Andrew or whatever. But, like, Candace and, like, Lily be having hella homo tension for some reason. It was all very Candace being, like, and, like, getting all up in Lily's business. Like, she wanted to, like, eat her up, bro. I was like, what? I was like, Candace? Lesbian Candace, OMG. And then, they had, like, a challenge to, like, send somebody to the sand. Like, to the sand. Send them to the desert, like, until sunrise. And then they're like, who should we send? They're like, Susie, get out. Well, they didn't say that, but they had a vote, and Susie ended up, like, they picked straws, and Susie was the one who was sent out. And then she was like, really? You're gonna send little me? And then they're like, yo, get out. Get the fuck out of there. And then she comes back, but she's like, bro, she gone. Like, she's sobbing, she wailing, like, she lost herself. Like, she went crazy, bro. So they ended up, like, voting her out. They're like, yeah, Susie, get the hell out. You're kind of manic. So then they boot her out, and then they kicked Evan out, too. They said, bye, Evan, which was, like, her partner. And then, you know, people, they be crazy nasty, you know. But, what was it? yeah, people, they be switching up. Like, Jacinta is black, and there's another black guy named Carlos. So she was like, I guess I'll go for Carlos, because, like, it's just safer for, like, a black girl to go for a black guy. Like, it's just safer that way. So, because she wanted to stay in. So, but then she was hitting off with Marcus, who was, like, a white guy, I guess. But she's, like, hitting off with Marcus, and then she's like, oh, gee, Marcus, like, hey. But Marcus was with Mia before, but then Mia came and took Marcus again. So now Mia and Marcus were together, and Jacinta was back with Carlos, and Carlos likes Jacinta, but Jacinta was like, get the fuck away from me, bitch. Like, go, and whatever. So, like, people were, like, switching and shit, but then, one day, Lily's, like, walking, because they were, like, task, go take a shower outside. They nasty us out for those. They said, task, go take a shower outside. And then, like, you win a prize, so she's like, perfect. She goes outside, and ooh, Ryan is fucking this one girl named Vanessa. Ryan is fucking Vanessa in the shower, just, like, full on fucking her. And then Lily's like, what the hell? So then she, like, runs out there, and she goes, fuck, Ryan, he just cheated on me. So then, like, OMG, no, how could he? And then Becca's like, you know, Sam's partner, she's like, oh, really? Like, that's crazy. Because here's the thing, Sam likes Lily. Sam doesn't like Becca. Sam likes Lily. Since, like, day one, Sam has been like, Lily. And, like, he was being a bitch because he was, like, jealous that she was with somebody else. So, like, he's low-key being a bitch because of that. But he's like, OMG. He's, like, like, Becca's like, yeah, I always see him staring at other girls. And then everyone's like, he wasn't staring at me. And then she's like, oh, and then I guess I just see him staring at one girl. And Lily's like, ooh, because she know it's her. So then, you know, they were like, ooh, fuck, like, what are we gonna do? Like, she's like, we're gonna vote him the fuck out. Like, he's gone. Next chance we get, he fucking gone. But then she was like, but, like, we need to vote against the guys. Like, the guys need to vote against us, because Vanessa, fuck that hoe, she's gonna vote against me, and then it's gonna be 6-4, and we're gonna lose. So then Jacinta was like, well, I can get Carlos to, like, vote for Ryan. So then it's, like, evens out. And then Becca was like, I guess I'll tell Sam. Because they're British. She was like, I guess I'll tell Sam to vote for you. To, like, vote against him. Vote, you know, in your favor. And then she's like, okay. And they're like, you should talk to Tom, who is Vanessa's, partner. It's like, you should talk to Tom and, like, convince him to, like, stay in your bed so that Vanessa gets kicked out. So then, they're talking to, you know, so then they do communal tasks, because communal tasks will get them, like, oh, a fridge, a couch, a swimming, like, they already have a swimming pool, a tennis court, like, it'll just do bullshit like that. So then they're doing some, and then there's, like, oh, kiss everybody, like, every resident has to kiss each other. So, you know, they're, like, being all goofy and silly and, like, kissing each other and shit. So then, when it's, like, Ryan's turn, he goes to kiss, what's her face? Lily. And then when he goes to looks at Lily, she's, like, glaring at him. She's like, I gave him the coldest, most hateful glare I could fucking muster. And I could tell by the look in his eye, he fucking knew what I knew. So, you know, like, still kissed her anyways. And then it was her turn, like, and Sam walked around to, like, kiss people. He was like, you know, he gave Becca, and then he gave everybody, like, a, like, you know, like a soft little peck, whatever. Me trying to make the fucking noise again. But then he gets to, like, Lily, and then he goes to, like, do the same thing, but Lily, like, keeps his head down, and then kisses him for longer, so then everyone's like, ooh. You know, everyone's like, oh, for the first one, they're like, okay. So then it's Lily's turn to walk around, she kisses everybody, and then she saves, of course, Sam for last, and then she, like, damn near be grinding up on him with how long they were, like, kissing and making out. Like, people were like, oh, like, they were all cheering and shit, and then it died down to them be like, okay, y'all, like, enough. So, you know, that was, like, crazy, like, what the hell? So then, I was like, okay, messy, like, low-key into that, but I was like, okay, but also, like, ooh, what about Becca, though? Like, you just made an enemy out of Becca, bro. But, you know, Ryan gets eliminated, and then, But, so they, like, whatever, Ryan, like, no, Ryan goes up to them, and then, hello? Can I talk? Ryan follows Lily after the fucking, kiss thing, and he's like, what the hell was that with Sam? And she was like, shut up, bitch, fuck you, like, I know you fucked Vanessa. What do you think Tom's gonna say about that? Because Tom, he possessive and shit, and he was like, Tom, be sleeping with other fucking people, too, who gives a shit? So then, what was it? Hello? Hello? Lily was gonna tell, what's his face? Ryan. She was like, I'm gonna tell Tom that, you fucked Vanessa. And he's like, Vanessa, Tom be fucking people too. Like, whatever. So then they were like, yeah, Becca, she was like, I'll tell Sam to, like, vote in your favor. And they said, you go talk to Tom. I think I already mentioned this. But as Lily's gonna go talk to Tom, she's like, I don't need to talk to Tom. I need to talk to Sam. And she's like, fuck, I know Becca don't want me in here. So then she goes to talk to Sam, and he's like, has Becca talked to you yet? And he's like, no. I was like, yeah, I think you should vote, in my favor. And he goes, I'll do anything for you. And then, she stays, and then you see Becca, like, look into the rocks, and then she, like, turns and storms off. But, it turns out that Tom voted in Lily's favor, and it was Becca who voted, wanted to keep Ryan in, because she wanted to vote Lily out, so, whatever. But, at the end of the night, she's like, tells Tom, she's like, Vanessa, she slept with, Ryan, and he was like, no, she didn't, and he goes, oh, yeah, she did. And then she, like, kind of baited him being like, okay, fine, I'll sleep in your bed. So Vanessa gets out. And she goes, thanks. So now she's laying in bed. She's, like, there silent. Like, all alone. Like, I'm gonna be gone. But then, like, the bed dips. And then she goes, OMG, Tom? And it's like, no, it's me, Sam. He's like, hey, I'm in your bed. It's me. He said, it's gonna be me. He said, it's gonna be me. He's like, sorry, Becca. Not my problem. Hey, it's me again from the future. I just want to give a heads up. I'm stoned as shit in that. Oops. So I just want to preface and say, for like a hot minute, you're gonna hear me just like randomly rubbing my hands. That's like loud as shit in the audio. Bear with me. Nah, we were in high spirits, y'all. Like, ooh, just warning. That's like, damn, my God, who cares? But, so then they end up a couple, and then they, like, fuck, or whatever. Like, it's very, like, not descriptive. It's like, and then we became one. I was like, okay, whatever. But, so then they stayed, and then, like, Tom threatened Vanessa, or whatever the fuck. And then, as, like, days goes on, like, more people leaving. Well, now it's, like, them, and then they're like, vote a couple out to get, a tennis court. And then they're like, and then she's like, no, I want a tennis court, because she wanted to vote Becca and Tom out, because Becca and Tom are now a couple. She was like, I want them the fuck out of here. So she was like, oh, like, I really want, like, this. Like, no, I think we should do it. And then they're like, we should vote a couple. Like, let's go to our rocks. And then Jacinta and Carlos, she was like, oh, like, no, we'll just go. Like, we don't give a fuck. And then Lily was like, gee, like, please don't go. And Jacinta's like, no, girl, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, I don't give a shit. She's like, you some psycho shit, I guess. Like, you want to stay here forever? Like, girl, like, I'm gonna go home. She's like, no. So then they leave. And then they do another challenge where it's like, get coffee beans. Like, after this, they all lose morale. Like, they let the house get a mess. They do not give a fuck. Like, that shit is all dirty and shit. So then, by the time it's all of them, they're, like, kind of all secluded, and they're not talking to each other and shit like that. But, what else? What else fucking happened? I'm getting fucking confused, whatever. They're like, let that shit get a mess. Nobody's taking care of themselves. And then, at one point, Tom gets burned when they get a hot tub. Oh, yeah, it was like, get a hot tub if you kick a couple out or whatever. And then they kicked out. Just sent them for the hot tub. But then Tom broke a rule because he started talking about how he got a record player. He was like, oh, look at my record player. Okay, no, Lily wanted some diamond earrings. So it was like, go break something of Tom's, like something of Tom's possessions. So she's in there and he's talking about like his record player. He's like, yeah, I had to sleep with Mia to get it and shit like that. And he's like, I love classical music. It's exhilarating. And she's like, oh, what the hell? So then as he leaves, she like breaks his fucking needle so he can't play it anymore. But because he said he slept with Mia to get it, they punished him. So in the jacuzzi, he was in there and he got burned and shit. So he was all burned. And then a few days later, when he, like, cleared up, he was like, Lily, come here, Lily. And then she goes into his room and she sees him, like, looking at his record player. And he's like, oh, why would this be broken? And she's like, dang, I don't fucking know. And it was like, he's like, did you break it? He was like, no, but how's she gonna listen to that shitty ass fucking tape? He punches her. Just straight punches her. She goes, you're a fucking dumbass, bro. You can't hit me, idiot. She's like, you shouldn't have fucking hit me. So then, he punches her again and slaps her and, like, rips out a chunk of her hair. Deadass rips out a chunk of her hair. And he's like, wait, Lily, I shouldn't have done that. So because, you know, she's not screaming because he's beating the shit out of her, Sam walks over. And immediately, Sam starts beating the shit out of Tom. They start swinging at each other, bro. So then they're like, stop, what the fuck are you doing? And then it's like, oh, because it's like, if one person says, like, breaks a rule, only they get punished, but if it's two or more people, then everybody gets punished. So then, because they fought, everybody got punished. So they had a shed that they made, like a handmade shed, and they burned it down. They burned down their shed, but in doing so, they ended up burning a lot more than they needed to. They ended up burning, like, all the crops, all the, like, bushes around them. Like, that shit looked like a wasteland. Now. So then they're all like, okay, fuck Tom and fuck Sam because of the reason that this happened. They're not getting mad and shit. So then they're like, oh, causing conflict. So then Becca was like, I want to do a challenge. So then they did a challenge and it was like, oh, named everybody you slept with in the compound and you get, like, something. So, you get coffee. And then everybody but Andrew was like, I don't want to fucking do it. No, I don't want to fucking do it. So they're like, come on, let's do it. And Candace was like, please, can you do it for me? He goes, no, I don't want to fucking do it. So then they eventually do it. And then Candace is like, I've only slept with Andrew because they coupled up in the first night. And then Lily's like, I've only slept with Sam. Andrew was like, I've only slept with Candace. And then Tom is like, I've slept with Mia, Vanessa, Sarah, boom, boom, boom. Like, fuck him. And then Becca's like, I've never slept with anyone. And then it didn't change. And they're like, why isn't it changing? And they're like, isn't it obvious somebody's fucking lying? So then Sam starts looking at Lily, and Lily starts looking at Sam, and she starts looking at Becca, and she's like, hello? So then, and then they're like, really, do you not know who it is? And then Andrew was like, fine, I slept with Carlos, and I slept with somebody else. He didn't say, he was like, I slept with Eloise and Carlos. They're like, damn, that's crazy. And then they were like, so then Candace storms off, and, like, Andrew follows after her, because they were coupled up since night one. And mind you, it's been, like, probably 3 months. It's been, like, 3 months. So, you know, they're, like, been coupled up this entire time. She's like, what the fuck? But, Lily's like, damn, that's crazy. Like, I didn't think that was ever gonna happen. I was like, did you know? She was like, damn, did y'all know Andrew was bi? I didn't. And then Becca's like, ha, Lily, not everyone's a heterosexual. And Lily's like, bitch, I'm queer. She's like, huh? Like, I can tell she's trying to fuck Candace, bro. But then, Candace leaves that night. She's like, I'm leaving. And she's like, no. Lily's like, no. And before she leaves, Candace kisses Lily, so they, like, kiss. And she's like, I really wish I got to know you more. Straight fucking bro. But, I'm gonna bleep that. What else happened? Said Candace my lesbian. Oh, and then they were, like, talking because, like, you know, they're all, like, kind of losing their minds and shit like that. And then, Sam was like, I'm low-key done. Like, I'm ready to go home. He's like, Lily, let's get out of here. And Lily's like, I don't want to get out of here. And he's like, what do you mean? And she goes, why can't we stay here forever? And he's like, why the fuck would we stay here forever? And then she's like, well, it's better in here than out there. She's like, out there fucking sucks. And, you know, in here's so easy. Like, look at this actual gold necklace. I mean, I only got it. I got it and all I had to do was just talk to you. And then she's like saying all this other shit. She's like, continue talking. But the second she said that shit, I was like, no, Lily, you don't fucked up. Why did you have to tell Sam? Why did you have to tell Sam? The same man who argued with you at the beginning. Mind you, the very same argument you won that necklace from was when he was like, all you do is talk to me because it benefits you in some type of way. Like, this is transactional. Like, that's deadass what he yelled at you about in the same argument you won that fucking necklace about. And you just deadass told that man you got a necklace for talking to him. Like, so, you know, she says this whole other spiel. Like, she says that, like, basically in the first, like, say her speech, it's like, she's at, like, the 20% mark when she fucking said that. And she says some more. And then he just goes, you want a necklace because of you talk to me? So she's like, oh no, what did I do? So then he's like, which one? And then she's like, the one where we argued, bro. And then he's like, let's just please, like, can we just get the fuck out of here? She goes, I'm not gonna see you, bro. She was like, I don't know if I'm gonna see you outside. Like, I'll never see you again, bro. And he goes, sad. And he's like, that doesn't have to be an option. Like, you don't, like, he's like, we don't have to do that. You can see me again. Like, I can meet up with you. And he's like, and she's like, no. She's like, nah. Nah, bro. So he fucking leaves. And the entire time I'm like, damn, why'd it have to be Sam? He's the only fucking person I like in here because Andrew's a bitch. He's like a little whiny baby bitch. He only, like, he be doing everything for validation, bro. Like, he's like, oh, I'm a good guy. Oh, I'm the best. Like, woo, let's go, people. Let's go, let's go, let's go. He's like, where's that energy, y'all? Like, and he don't know how to do shit himself. So he literally was like, yeah, every decision I made, like, I always talked to Candace. Well, Candace admitted that. He didn't say that, but. So then Sam left and I was pissed. And then it was just Becca, Tom, Andrew, and Lily. And then there was, one where it was like, oh, the water turned off, and they said, whoever, like, you know, like, they have to win enough, because ever since, like, every challenge, like, every prize you get communal, it's like, oh, somebody gets eliminated after each thing, like, the loser, like, somebody, like, the lowest person gets eliminated. So, they turn off the water, and the competition is a 100-meter dash. And Tom and Andrew are really fit. And then Lily and Becca, they're like, whatever. So then they're like, damn, we're going to lose. And we have no water. So Becca was like, I'm going to dehydrate the fuck out of them. I'll give you some water. You just bring me food. We'll dehydrate them. Make them sick. And then we'll run it, like, full-bodied. And, you know, we'll be fine. So then, you know, Lily and Becca, they do that. And it's like, the guys are getting sick, Tom and Andrew. Like, Andrew getting very sick. Tom's getting sick, too. And then eventually, like, on the third day, Tom is like, dang, Becca, like, dang, Lily, you don't look that sick. And she goes, I am sick. He's like, yeah, but, like, not as sick as us, though. And he was like, you look a little more healthier than the rest of us. I was like, that's kind of funny, isn't it? I was like, and we can't find Becca. That's a little funny. She goes, yeah, that is funny. That's crazy. So then she goes meets up with Becca in, like, the middle of the night with the guys are sleeping. And then she's like, let's go back now. And Becca's like, no, tomorrow morning. Like, we'll do it tomorrow morning. And they're, like, talking. And then out of nowhere, like, Lily's head slams into the ground. And she's like, why is Becca on top of me choking the fuck out of me? And she goes, what is his hand? And she goes, this is a man hand. She goes, oh no, Tom is choking the fuck out of me. Tom just found us. So now Tom is, like, actively choking them, like, damn near breaking Lily's, like, breaking Becca's arms and shit. Like, squeezing the fuck out of her. He's like, I'm gonna beat the fucking shit out of you. Like, because now they can hurt people because all the rules got lifted after the 5 people were left. So the rules got lifted. So, you know, you could harm people. You could talk about your personal lives and how you got tasks and shit. But, what is it? Anyways, they find them. Tom and Andrew find them, so then they do the meter dash. And while Tom was, like, chasing down Becca, she twisted her ankle. So now they're all, like, kind of, like... The only one who was in good shape was, honestly, Lily. Because she just ate, she just drank water, like... Even though she was mostly dehydrated, she was the best at all of them. And then she won, and then Becca lost, so Becca got sent out. And then they're like, you can go in the morning. So then Becca was sleeping, but in the middle of the night, Becca proceeded to grab a rope and choke the living goddamn shit out of Tom, nearly killing him. Like, they were like, warning, a player is dying. Like, they were literally like, motherfucker was about to die. But then the rope snapped. So he was breathing, and then he proceeded to choke the fuck out of Becca and almost kill her too. And then he kicked her out, and she left. There's like hella pimples on the back of my scalp. I'm pissed. Sorry. So then she get kicked out, and now it's just Tom and Andrew. But Andrew's like still very sick because he's, you know, dehydrated and shit. But then he was so sick that they took him out. So now it's just Becca and Tom. And they hate each other. They, like, fucking hate each other. Or at least, Lily really hates Tom. So then, they're eating one time. And, you know, Tom is like, I don't fucking trust you. And she goes, why? And he was like, I'm not gonna fucking kill you. He was like, yeah, I didn't think Becca would fucking kill me either, but, you know, there she is. So, you know, he doesn't trust Lily, so, like, he kind of following Lily everywhere. And it's like, don't leave this area, like, I need to be able to see you and shit like that. So then, Lily was like, I'm gonna get this motherfucker out of here. So then she makes a dinner for them. She makes some steaks, they eat, they talk, and he's like, damn, this bitch is boring as shit. And this guy was like, I low-key don't even like women. I like them in my bed. And I was like, damn, this guy's such a misogynist that he's a fucking fat. But then, you know, they have dinner. And while he's taking a shower, Lily proceeds to grab meat, throw some chunks under the table outside, the outside table where they had dinner. She goes past the perimeter, like, cuts the fuck out of her arms and shit like that. So she's dripping blood. Throws chunks of meat out in the desert, all the way, trailing all the way to the house. And then she borders up, she, like, closes the window, she locks them. She, like, has everything prepared, and then when Tom's in the shower, like, actively showering, she's like, Tom, it's outside, like, come get it. And mind you, Tom, when he was in the desert, when they first dropped him off, he got attacked by a wild dog, and, like, by himself. So, like, he has the bone and shit, but he's, like, terrified of the desert. But she's like, help, there's something out there. So then he, like, runs out there. And when he runs out, Lily closes the door and, like, slams it shut on him. And then she, and then she pushes, a cabinet in front of the door so he's locked out because the door doesn't have a lock. And she put, like, weight so it's sturdy and shit. And then a task is like, one of the tasks, I forget what the prize was, but it was like, the task was how long to the hour is it till Christmas? So then Lily was like, well, what do you think it is? And then he was like, nice try, bitch. So then, when he's locked outside, he's like, Lily, let me in. And he's, like, banging on the door, and then 2 coyotes pull up, and he's like, holy shit, let me the fuck in, because mind you, he's naked. He's like, let me the fuck in. And she goes, not until you tell me how many hours until Christmas. And he's like, are you fucking crazy, bro? So then, he won't answer it. So then he starts, you know, after the 2 coyotes leaves, he, like, scares them off. He starts slamming against the door to open it, and he's like, let me in! Like, he's about to kill her, bro. And he's like, pushes the door open, and as he, like, the door barrels open, Lily throws detergent into his eyes, and then he's, like, screaming in pain. He's like, I need to, like, get this out. And she goes, not until, she's like, you will not do shit until you say how many hours until Christmas. And he says it, so then she says, like, a lesser one, and then it's, like, correct. So then, what is it? So then Tom washes his eyes out, and he's like, I'm fucking blind. She's like, you deadass blinded me. And she goes, dang, get the fuck out. So then he leaves. So she's like, it's just me. I'm the winner. And then Andrew comes back. He's like, hi guys, I'm all better now. But he's like kind of gone crazy. He's like, we have to thank the producers. The producers will always take care of us. Like, he starts tweaking bad because he's like codependent and needs people to like to take care of him and shit like that. So the producer taking care of him, and now he's like taking balls, and he goes insane. And then he goes so insane that he like chains Lily up outside and like won't let her in, and like he's like, it's okay, the producers will come help us. And he like starts bashing his fucking head in and shit. He goes crazy, and then eventually he like kind of snaps out of it, and he goes, I think I should go. And then Lily's like, yeah, I think you should go. So then, like, he leaves or whatever, and she stays in the compound by herself. And then she's like, dang, I'm by myself. And then she, like, starts crying some days. Like, she pulls it to the TV at the end, and it's like, what do you want? And she goes, I want nail polish, I want this clothes, I want this hair wrap. And she was like, ooh, I want a phone, too. She's like, I also want these nice slippers. She's like, ooh, I want this dress that nicely hugs my ass, but, like, isn't too much on the stomach. She's like, I want this, I want this, I want that. She's like, she's going on and on. And then she spends, like, a while, and like, I don't want to say forever in there. Like, I don't think it was, like, that long of a time. But she spends the time in there. And then eventually she just starts getting drunk and crying every day. And she was like, I miss some. And then she, like, Loki starts going insane. So she calls her mom. And she's like, hey, Mom, like, what are people saying about me? Like, I won. And her mom's like, I don't give a fuck. She's like, what's that got to do with me? And she's like, oh, and she's like, you're still fucking doing that shit, Lily? She's like, oh, whatever, I don't fucking know. Like, she's like, I got things to worry about, okay? She's like, whatever, girl. So then her mom is kind of like, what the fuck do you want? Like, hello? So she's like, oh, that didn't really fucking help. So then eventually she gets a phone call, and it goes to, like, voicemail, but she gets, like, a voicemail. And it's like, hey, it's Sam. I miss you, Lily. I'm going to this island. I'm going to keep my phone on a few days, but, I don't know if you want to see me, but I'd really like to see you. He's like, I love you, Lily. And then, like, an hour later, Lily starts packing up and she leaves. And that's the end of the book. The compound, I thought it was good. I was crazy a few times. I was like, what the fuck am I reading, bro? It was messy. I kind of liked it. I liked it. Would I recommend reading it? Sure. It's fucking messy. It's messy. It's crazy. It's like, whoa. I feel like some of the shocks, like, I didn't obviously explain the plot that well. And obviously I didn't jot down that good of a notes. Usually my notes. My notes were like, fuck a man named Sam. I hate a man named Sam. Damn, Sam, that's kind of crazy. I was like, damn, Lily fell in love with the guy after he killed a duck. And the worst thing is his name is Sam. Like, I'm just dogging on Sam. And I'm like, damn, Sam, what the hell? Lesbian? Sam, what the fuck? Oh, damn! Why'd it have to be you, Sam? Like, why do you gotta leave? Like, unfortunately, that the motherfucker was the only interesting part of that shit, bro. But I think it was good. And, I don't know if you want to read it, go ahead, read it. I don't know. And, on that note, I guess I'll finish off here. Thank you so much for listening, if you're still here. Yeah. I don't know how to finish this off, so thanks for listening. Bye.